Oh, speaking of tacos, all hail the king. All hail the Taco King, Taco Kingdom. We stand ready to serve your majesty. Give to us your taco goodness, so that we may fight in the tacos.
Go straight on.
Taco Kingdom! So we got some rest. This morning, sleep meter's refueled, so we're outside of that panic stage, folks. We're expected on Wednesday. Here comes the garbage man now that I sassed him. So that secret route, if I'm here, it's back behind us there. Let's try backing up, folks. You know me, I'm not an expert in the world of backing up, but I've gotten better and better at it. At least with the cam here. If I didn't use this cam, I might be in trouble. But I want to see about this secret passage. That is a cool idea to me. You know how I always blather on about the secret game inside of a game that I privately suspect? My conspiracy theory that they have a secret world in a world here. You know, there's some sort of MMO inside of the game just for the developers. Look at this, folks. Look at this. We're going off-road, off the official map. There's a little secret dirt road passage here. A little bypass. And it's getting charted to our map by us driving it. How cool is that?
Recommuting.
Alright, and we're still going to be on time with our delivery, so that's good news.
Okay, let's find a new route.
Cool. Not the world's biggest
Never mind. I'll find a new route.
path, but that's awesome. Alright, and then now, when we look, they charted it on our map. Huh. Cool. Alright, so let's take a look at our sleep meter. Our next rest stop we need to do in 13 hours. Okay. And we have a lot of time left. So we need to aim for someplace roughly 13-ish hours down the road. So let's say we look down here. Okay, that's 7 hours. We can go further than that. Yeah, so our trip time, 14 hours to get to our destination. So we can get really close to our destination before we stop next, folks. But I suspect that we're not going to get there quite in time from what I understand of the sleep timer. So we're going to zoom in here. Why don't we target... That's 11 hours in. Okay, that's a good stop right there. So... That's more or less on the way. And then we can zip across the board.
Time to hit the road.
Let's do this, folks. Hopefully that oncoming truck slows down when he sees us. I kind of cut him off. Sorry about that, buddy. Oh man, more of this beautiful green Texas countryside. You know, folks, we're learning a lot about the world today, and that's what makes this such a great dad game. We're seeing different places, and through the game, we kind of get to learn a little bit about other parts of the country. Isn't that cool? Even if it's just kind of visually, as a game world represents it, but I feel like I'm learning more about Texas randomly, just getting the vibe from driving through it. Doing all right, Texas. You're doing all right. So it is 7:08 Tuesday in the game. We're back on the road. You're hanging out with Cobra.
Get ready to
send any of those dad questions on in, and I'll do my best. We're here talking about life. We're talking about love. Talking about the universe. Speaking of love, we're going to start off with some simple dad advice. Unasked for dad advice. Dad advice that everybody watching needs. Most of you older folks probably figured this out, but for a lot of young folks, a lot of college students, teenagers, even people in their 20s. Free advice. Many of us over the years have been smitten by someone. And TV always shows like love as this slow, long building thing where it's like, you know, the moldy and Scholar, where it's the will they, won't they, and it's stretched out over 7-8 seasons, or somebody's super into a person, but that person doesn't want anything to do with them, and it's the romantic story of how they're going to convince them to love them. Look, that's a TV show, guys. That's often not real life. Life's too short for that. You don't need to spend 7 years of a will they, won't they with that one person that you think is perfect. Now, sometimes there's somebody in your life that maybe it takes a while to get to know them before you realize that, hey, I'm really into them. But most of the time, hey, you know, they're not perfect because they're not into you. You deserve somebody that's into you. You don't need to chase some dream of a person that you think should be into you because they're so perfect. Yes, you're into them, and isn't that lovely? But hey, if you put some pursuit in, and they don't reciprocate that pursuit because they're just not into you, then they're just not into you. Maybe things will change in the future. Maybe time will come along and you'll have another chance. But in the meanwhile, why don't you just accept the loss? Realize that they're not the one for you, and go find someone else to cast your affections towards. Because guess what? You deserve somebody that's wildly into you. That's what you deserve. That's what's perfect.
Go straight on.
What's perfect for you is somebody who digs you. If you dig somebody and they don't dig you, no. They might be a great friend. But if they're not into you, just because even if they were to date you at that point, you would just be unhappy. Free life advice: find somebody who likes you, that you also like. You can't just go with somebody that likes you, but you're like, they're fine. No. And grand romantic gestures are nice, but that's not usually always how real life works. Yeah. Unsolicited dad advice of the day. Ooh, roundabout with another truck. You know, I don't mind roundabouts in real life.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
These roundabouts, when there is another big truck,
keep left.
Can be really,
Exit now.
Really fun.
Keep right, and then turn right.
There we go.
Turn right.
Waco Stadium. All right. Is there a big sports team based here? Look at this bridge. Now, how great would it be if Waco was actually pronounced Waco? And then you could get like Waco tacos. Be a great name for a taco thing. Oh, speaking of tacos, all hail the king. All hail the Taco King. Taco Kingdom. We stand ready to serve your majesty. Give to us your taco goodness, so that we may fight in the tacos.
Go straight on.
Taco Kingdom! I'm not sure who are the enemies of the Taco Kingdom are in the in the food wars. In the fast food wars. Now, we do know that in theory, Demolition Man has taught us that the Taco Kingdom wins the franchise wars. Because the franchise wars, as they're called in Demolition Man, we learn that Taco Bell was the survivor. Although by that time in the future they've become kind of fine dining. But yes, so that's the answer. The Taco Kingdom will win. I'm assuming that their primary nemesis is Dreamburger, but there is Waffletopia over here.
And then exit left.
Although maybe we could be allies with Waffletopia, because
Exit left.
I would like to see what Waffletopia has to offer. Is there some sort of chicken and waffles going on? Could they enter an alliance with the Taco Kingdom? And could we get like some sort of taco waffle? Could you like... Because if chicken and waffles is the thing, is there a way to do a Mexican-themed taco waffle? Think about it. Boy, I might have to do some culinary experimentations, folks. See how this works out. Cobra is not afraid to try to make new things. And here's a friendly reminder. Hey, if you're out there, you don't know what to make, you don't know what to cook, you're a parent, try to find something, or you got some friends coming over, take a look in the About page for this Twitch stream, and you'll find my emergency recipe for Cobra's Beefy Biscuit Pot Pie. You've got like a Dutch oven or a similar type pot pan or something you can put stuff into. It's easy to make. Not a ton of ingredients. I mean,
keep right.
There's a healthy amount.
Left.
But it's a very flexible recipe. You can replace almost anything in that recipe with other stuff. The important recipe parts are biscuits. You're going to need biscuits. Oh, can we make the light? Oh, it's turning yellow. We're just going to keep going.
And then continue straight on.
Oh, we made it. That was tense, folks. Been paralleling the freeway for a while. I wonder if they're going to stop teasing us. Oh, good. We finally get to go on. But yeah, Cobra's Beefy Biscuit Pot Pie. It is a delight. Go look at the recipe and try it out. Let me know what you think. I might add some other stuff. A friend recently said they thought that my tostadas that I posted in a Discord channel I met the other day looked quite delicious. Now, mind you, I am not Mexican. I grew up in California, so I have familiarity with Mexican-themed food and some Mexican food, but I can't promise it's authentic. But they were pretty good tostadas. Or at least they used a tostada shell and then were delicious from there. And tostada shells are great. They have half the calories of like a typical flour tortilla for people that use that. And, there are different ways to eat them.
Keep left.
Keep left. Okay, let's get left, folks. And I found that they went really well. I use a fork for part of it. I don't know the genuine way to tostada. They were delicious. Up there with Cobra's Pro Secret Tips. I gave this away last night in our Stardate supplemental stream. But dad tip, look, if you're making Mexican food for more than one person, making food for more than one person. If it's just you, it's a little harder to pull off due to the portions. But the infamy of beans. Take black refried beans, or regular refried beans. So 1 can of that. 1 can of whatever your favorite chili is. Heat those together and stir them well together in a pot. Maybe add a few seasonings on top of that. And that will upgrade your Mexican food game so much. It's less authentic, naturally. But then the beans that you're putting on stuff, so good. So good. What do we got going on here in the chat? Whispering tells us that her understanding is that Mexican people don't really mind that we adapt their food. This is people from Mexico she's talking about, as opposed to specifically Mexican Americans. The Mexican American diaspora. Diasporas, it's always interesting. They share a lot with the people that they come from, but but sometimes they go their own way with their ideas. They always have their unique views. And that's not a big surprise to me. I mean, like, North American cuisine, like a Mexican American cuisine, there's an old history of Mexico and America swapping food ideas and food culture back and forth. So I think that, the adaptation of Mexican cuisine to American palates or the American ingredients, I think they're just happy that, we do it all. It's like a lot of people try to diss on Chinese American food, but Chinese American food was originally mostly developed by Chinese Americans, adapting to the ingredients available in America and fine-tuning it for American tastes for better sales. There's genuine Chinese cuisine, but the Chinese-inspired cuisine of Chinese American food is a part that the diaspora made. I think everybody's going to have their own opinions about food with stuff like that, but like that's food. Fusion cuisine or adaptive cuisine, like it's like when I think it's cute when we see American food adapted in other countries, like Japan's take on some American dish. The Great American Burger and stuff like that, or American style pizza.
Right.
Like when people have their own interpretation of American food, but different countries have their own kind of understanding of what it is.
Right.
And I always think that's cool. I think as long as you're honest and genuine about it, right? Always try to be understanding, and then some foods might have a deep cultural or religious significance, so you might want to be careful about that especially if you're trying to open a food truck or a restaurant, a smaller culture, and you're kind of using some food item from their cuisine, but it's actually got a specific significance. Be careful. But generally speaking, when it comes to Mexican cuisine and American cuisine, I see those two as friends more often than not. I mean, us Americans, we love Mexican food. It's always interesting when I'm listening to a podcast or something with people from like England or European countries where Mexican cuisine's not as common. It's kind of one of those things you just take for granted. Like we have it all over the place here. Because we have, people of Mexican descent all over the place here. That's part of the great cultural makeup of America. We would not be the country we are without our Mexican friends. Taco Kingdom! See, look at this. Waffle, Taco Kingdom, Dream Burger. Okay, so interesting. There's definitely some franchise wars going on over there. But all hail the Taco King. Man, now I want tacos. I make a lot of Mexican-inspired food for the fam because you get a handful of ingredients and you can mix and match, make so much stuff. But also, as we get deeper into the summer, I like that kind of cuisine during the summer especially. I don't know if it's the spices or if it just reminds me of California where I grew up. I don't know. Some nice cold Mexican cervezas, some Mexican-style cuisine, get some hot sauce on there. Perfect kind of food for a summer day. If you don't have some barbecue on hand. Or some takoyaki. Man, I love takoyaki. Welcome to Dad Named Cobra's channel, where we talk about food. Ooh, look at those storm clouds, folks. Storms ahead. Dun, 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 dun. The way that this countryside is shaped here in Texas, I just imagine they can get some crazy thunderstorms just building up over that flatness. Especially with the heat that they get. Now, this is what I'm talking about. A nice freeway, good speed limit. Headed northward. We're on the road to Colorado, folks. I've never been in-game or real life. I hear nice things about it. My brother works for a company based out of Colorado, so he's been there a handful of times, and I believe the missus has gone with him at least once. But never had an excuse. More's the shame. The company I work for does have a site out there, a couple sites out there, but due to my line of work as an analyst, there's rarely an excuse for me to travel that can justify the costs associated with that. It's always the sort of thing management can get away with. Or certain teams, but no, they rarely feel the need to fly us analysts. Because realistically, I can theoretically do my work from anywhere. town. Lovely town we just buzzed through there. Well, we're still buzzing through the looks of it. Let's get back over here. Looks like we're taking this exit, folks.
Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left.
Turning left. Kind of a mellow day here on the stream. And I am digging it. But that's morning streams for you. Unless I'm lucky enough to catch some rowdy people coming from another country where it's more nighttime. But here in America, pretty mellow stream. Fairly early. People, though, 11:17 in the real world, so, folks are starting to think about their lunches and their day. I'm okay with that, personally. I'm thinking about my lunch and my day. Or skip lunch because donuts. Well, yes, for those who don't have feelings. Donuts are delicious, but so many good. Oh, look at that truck. Oh, they're messed up. Woo. Boy, I don't know what's going on out there, folks. Alright, looks like we can speed up again. Not that much. Let's get up to 75. Alright. Pull up the map. Let's double check how close we are to our planned stop. Alright, we got a ways to go. We got about 6 hours to our next checkpoint. Let's check our sleep timer. 8 hours to our next sleep timer. Little loan installment payment there. Alright, another garbage truck just drove by. They're out on patrol, folks. Bubbly says that nap might be in her future. Just all burned out and tired, or are you just kind of a napper in general? I know you're saying you have a little vertigo today, so I know that you're not feeling 100%. You'll have to let us know. Yeah, let's enjoy this Texas countryside, folks, with a little bit of dashboard cam. Rest stereo. A little bit of both. You're up at 5:30 a.m. Okay, now the 5:30 a.m. part, I don't have a whole lot of pity for because I have a child, and alarms start going off not long after 5:30 in the morning for me because of the work schedule my lady and I keep. Not to mention the necessity to get the teens up for school. Although today there's no school. I was supposed to reschedule a meeting. I gotta reschedule. I accidentally set a meeting for Monday, but it's a holiday, folks. It's a holiday. And I don't need to drag people into the office on a Monday if there's a holiday. Your significant other went off to work this morning and you're just not able to stay asleep. No, I know the vibes. If my lady love leaves for Monday's a holiday? Is it the next Monday? My understanding is this coming Monday is a holiday. I just don't remember what holiday it is. Maybe I'm thinking the Monday after that, but I'm positive it's this coming holiday. The Monday after. Okay, well, it's a good thing I didn't reschedule that meeting then. My boss pinged us about a holiday coming up, and I got this. Memorial's next week. Okay. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, I know what got me confused is because the kids are here today. So schools do this thing, and this is insane, by the way. Schools do this thing where apparently they have a set number of snow days baked into the schedule. And if they don't take enough snow days because things don't work out that way, they get random days off where they're quote-unquote spending the snow day. Like, what is that, you know? What is that BS? There's no holiday. They're just home because quote-unquote make up snow day. I'll tell you what, when I was a kid, snow days were not in the schedule, and they were reluctant to give them out either. Home store, great tires, Dream Burger, America. Probably gets a 4-day weekend next week. Jeez. See, for me, what's really going to depend is how leadership handles. So there's a Monday morning call that happens very early in the morning where managers from different levels pass information up to their directors, who then prepare for calls with the vice president for the line of business I work for at my company. And since I'm an analyst, I do reporting to provide them weekly details so that they can prepare for these calls. So it depends on whether or not they're going to have that call. Sometimes they still have the call anyways. But my hope is that Memorial Day weekend with a Monday call like that they won't do a Monday meeting. And if every sites are closed, then that makes it less likely. You never know. VPs don't always care if the sites are closed. They still want their details. Because it depends on if the VPs have to do calls with the EVPs. Or group of presidents. I think they're presidents now at that point. So it's always fun how this whole hierarchy of stuff leads to whether or not. But if that's the case, I could theoretically... Oh, we gotta weigh it. Alright, where is it? Up here? Did I miss the... Hold on. How am I supposed to get into this weigh station? There's a turn off up here. I see. Okay. And I just sideswiped the car. Wow, this is an awkward weigh station, folks. They're going to make me loop. Alright. Well, that's alright. We'll do what they tell us to. If I can figure out how to pull this turn. They're like, hey, you missed it. So now what you need to do is do a turn in your big rig truck. Is this gate gonna open? Thank you, my trucking brothers. I think I missed the appropriate turn off, folks. Because they warned us real last minute. What's Bubbly saying here? You went to school in Alaska. There's no such thing as snow days. Yeah, I believe that. And then you said your elementary school in Alaska was when you were in kindergarten at a huge hill in the back schoolyard that kids always sled down. I mean, if you're going to make kids be at school in the snow anyways, which makes sense for Alaska, might as well have a big hill for them to sled on. Oh. Be more careful next time. Oh, I got chastised for my vehicle being all buffed, beat up. Yeah, guys, I know it's not in the best shape. Thanks. So if I'm going north, do I go this way? I go this way. It's not very well mapped, but I think that's what we're doing here. So we're going to go up here. And
get ready to turn left.
Here. Yeah. Okay. We're figuring it out, folks.
Turn left.
Turn left across the divided highway. Good luck.